Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 129, A Frenzy for Falcon. Sir Handel was shunting in the yard. The trucks were being rude and noisy, but despite their protests, Sir Handel continued to shunt them into one long line. In a matter of moments, he had turned a disorganized yard into a long train. Duncan and Duke were watching them. "I'm very impressed," said Duncan. "Sir Handel is a great shunter." "He is indeed," said Duke. "Probably the best on the narrow-gauge railway." Hello, Sir Handel," said Duke. "I didn't see you there." "I hear you guys talking about me," said Sir Handel. "What's going on here?" "Oh, nothing," said Duke. "I see you're about ready to leave. Well, I'll get out of your way." "Nonsense, Sir Handel. I have a few moments." "A few moments," said Duke. That reminds me of a story." "Oh, bother," said Sir Handel. "What's this story about?" "Remember that time on our old railway when you got to pull trucks for the first time?" Sir Handel's face went blank. "Yes," he said sternly. "I do remember it, Duke, and I'd prefer if you wouldn't tell that story." "What's wrong with the story?" asked Duncan. "It's, a little bit embarrassing," said Duke. "Oh," said Duncan. "Well, I like embarrassing." "You have plenty of experience," said Sir Handel, but he said it to himself. "What's going on here?" said Rusty. "Duke is about to tell a story," said Duncan. "Ooh," said Rusty. "I like stories. Your last one was great." Rusty winked at Duke, and Duke winked back at Rusty, but nobody seemed to notice. "Anyway," said Sir Handel, "I'd best be going." "Nonsense," said Duke. "You said you have a few moments. Just in time for my story, I say." "Oh, bother," said Sir Handel. "Duke, please don't tell the story. It's very embarrassing, and I'm not proud of what I did that day." Duncan was getting egged on. "Come on, guys," he said. "I want to hear the story. I really do." "All right," said Duke. "Just give me a few moments to clear my head." Said Rusty. "This doesn't look like it's going to turn out well." "Sir Handel, what's so wrong with this story?" "Nothing," said Sir Handel. "I would just prefer if Duke wouldn't tell it." "Oh, bother, but I guess I have no choice." Duke laughed. "You don't have a choice," he said. Where do I begin?" "Ah, yes, I remember the perfect place." "Uh-oh," said Sir Handel. "Here we go." Yes, indeed," said Duncan. "Here we go." And with that, Duke began his story. "In this story," said Duke, "Peter, Sam, and Sir Handel had just been on our old railway for just over a year. Of course, during this story, they're known as Stewart and Falcon. Peter Sam was unfortunately young and inexperienced. He had trouble with trucks, and unfortunately could never get it right. This made him even more discouraged, and he tended to make mistakes more than he needed to. Luckily, Peter Sam wanted to learn, and I was willing to teach. He was an excellent pupil. Any engine would have been jealous of him, and soon he got it right. On the other hand, however, Sir Handel was bossy and conceited. He got to pull the passengers, since Peter Sam didn't know how, and because of this, Sir Handel had never pulled trucks. He liked all the attention that he got from the passengers, and he felt like he deserved the fame and recognition that he got. At the time, Peter Sam and I weren't too fond of Sir Handel, and, well, frankly, he wasn't too fond of us either. But one day, everything changed. Peter Sam was feeling ill, and he didn't want to do any work. Since it was just the three of us on the railway, I knew that we were going to have to double up on our jobs. That morning, our owner came to see us. "Peter Sam is ill," he said. "You engines are going to have to double up on your jobs. Is that all right?" "Yes, sir," I said. "Yes, sir," said Sir Handel. "Good," said the owner. Today, Duke, I want you to take the passengers, and Falcon, I want you to take the freight cars. Is that all right?" "Yes, sir," I said. But Sir Handel was hesitant. He didn't know how to pull the freight cars, obviously. He wasn't sure if he could do it. "Falcon," said the owner. "Yes," said Sir Handel, "I can do it." "That's a good engine," said the owner, and he walked away. "I can teach you how to pull the freight cars," I said. "Nonsense," said Sir Handel. "I know how to do it. It can't be that hard. Stewart does it." "Pulling freight cars," I said, "takes a lot of time and practice. It won't take that long if you learn from me." "I don't need your help," said Sir Handel. "Just go away, and let me pull my freight cars." With that, he was coupled up to it. "Are you sure you know how to pull these?" said Duke. "It can't be that hard," said Sir Handel. "Just let me be." "All right, well, here I go. See you later, Duke." "Stop," I said. "What's the matter?" said Sir Handel. He was getting very impatient. "You need a brake van," I said. "Now, why would I ever break a van?" said Sir Handel crossly. I couldn't believe what I heard, and I shook my head. It was like teaching a child all over again. "A brake van," I said slowly, "is something that you need on trains. Why don't I have it on my coaches over there?" "That's different," I said. "Anyway, you need one in case the trucks push you around." "The trucks wouldn't dare push me around," said Sir Handel. "Oh, believe me," said Duke, "they will. Anyway, I see one over there by Stewart. You should go get it before you leave." "All right," said Sir Handel. "I guess I can. That's a good engine," I said. "Anyway, I need to be off and pull your passengers. Goodbye." And with that, I was away. Before I left the yard, however, I went to go see Peter Sam. "Stewart," I said, "can you just put this brake van on the end of Falcon's train?" "I guess," said Peter Sam. He was in no mood to move. "Please," I said, "it'll be a great help." All right, he said. I can do that. Thank you, Stuart. You're such a big help. No problem, said Peter Sam, and with that he went back to sleep. I soon left. A few minutes later, Peter Sam was ready to go. Oh, he said, all I have to do is put that train on the back of Falcon's train. All I have to do is put that caboose on the back of Falcon's train. That's not much work. I can do that. Plus, Duke's my friend. And with that, he gave the caboose a little bump. It rolled up over the hill and was coupled to the train. Oh, said Peter Sam. That looked like it worked. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go back to sleep. I don't feel too good. Unfortunately, when the caboose went over the hill, it hit the train so hard it fell off onto its side. Luckily, the conductor scrambled out and he wasn't hurt. Sir Handel felt a thunk at the back of the train, but he didn't take much notice of it. Oh, he said, that must be Duke, putting the brake van on my train. He's actually a pretty nice engine. All right, well, here I go. I don't want to be late. And with that, Sir Handel began to pull out of the yard. The caboose was being dragged along, and it was soon going to fall to pieces if he kept on doing that. Sir Handel was feeling very pleased with himself. Wow, he said, this pulling trucks thing isn't that bad. I should do it more often, although I do miss my passengers. And with that, he continued on. Behind the caboose was being dragged along, and it was soon beginning to shred against the dirt. Sir Handel didn't even have the courtesy to look back and check to make sure that there wasn't danger. The caboose was being dragged along and torn to pieces. What a beautiful caboose! It was so red and so lovely, but unfortunately, Sir Handel had to destroy it. As Sir Handel headed through the tunnel, the caboose caught on one of the supports, and it flipped off the track and landed in a field. It was totally destroyed. It wouldn't have been any use if Sir Handel had dragged it to the station. It was an utter dismay, very unfortunate. Luckily, the conductor had gotten out, and everything was all right. Later that day, I was waiting at the station, and I was getting very nervous. Sir Handel had yet to show up. Oh dear, I thought. Where's Falcon? He shouldn't be late for his first train, I hope. Oh look, there he is. And I was right. Sir Handel came puffing proudly into the station. Hello everyone, he said. I'm back from pulling my first train. Well done, I said. Well done, Falcon. You've done an excellent job. I guess pulling trucks isn't that hard. It's not, he said. Anyway, oh well, I guess I should just leave these trucks here. But as he pulled forward, I noticed something. There was no caboose at the back. Hey, Falcon, I said. Where's your brake van? My what? Said Sir Handel. Oh, yeah, that thing. Well, didn't you put one on the back of my train? No, I asked Stuart to, and it's not there, obviously. It's there, said Sir Handel. Look, But soon he realized his error. There was no brake van. Oh, dear, he thought, well, who put the brake van on the back of my train to begin with? It was Stuart, I said, but I guess I can't trust that engine after all. No, said Sir Handel. I know Stuart put the brake van on the back of the train. I felt it, but it somehow fell off. I wonder where it could be. I don't know, said Duke, but you better go find it before the controller finds out. You're right. Oh, look, I said. Here comes Stuart. He must be feeling better, and he has something to do with the breakdown train. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Soon Stuart arrived, and, well, there was the evidence. A broken, tattered, destroyed caboose was at the end of the crane. Uh-oh, said Sir Handel. I'm going to get it now. You are, said Duke. Here comes the controller. The controller was furious when he saw this. Falcon, he said. What is the meaning of this? I don't know, sir. It's a brake van. Yes, said the controller crossly. It's a brake van, one of the few brake vans we have on this railway. You've totally destroyed it. What is the meaning of this? I didn't mean to, sir. I was just pulling the train here like I've heard about, and... What do you mean, what you've heard about? Well, this was my first time pulling trucks, and, well, I did everything that I could that I've heard from other engines. This is your first time pulling trucks, said the controller. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. The controller was furious. Falcon, he said, first you lied to me, then you destroyed this lovely caboose. Oh dear, what are we going to do with you? I don't know, said Peter Sam, but luckily I'm not involved in this one for once. I smiled. Uh-oh. Falcon, you're sure to get it this time. Yes, said Sir Handel sadly. Yes, I am. And with that, the controller turned to him. Guess what? He said. You're going to learn how to pull trucks really well. What do you mean? Asked Sir Handel. Duke's going to teach you how to do it right, and then you're going to pull trucks for the rest of the week. But I like my passengers more, said Sir Handel. I like cabooses that aren't torn to pieces. Do you understand me? Yes, sir, said Sir Handel. He felt very silly, and he had created quite a frenzy for the rest of us. Wow, said Duncan. That was an excellent story, Duke. Thank you, said Duke. Sir Handel, what are your thoughts on this subject? Grrr, said Sir Handel crossly. Just let me go, please. That was an excellent story, Duke, said Rusty. Thank you for sharing it with us. Sir Handel, don't feel embarrassed. I am embarrassed, said Sir Handel. That was a time in my life when I was very silly and, well, really dumb, too. Luckily, I've learned lessons since then. I'm a wiser engine. That's the moral of the story, said Duke proudly. Don't you see it? Yeah, said Sir Handel. Yeah, I do. Hey, Duke, thanks for telling me that story. No problem, said Duke. Now, did you say you have work to do or something? I do, said Sir Handel, but it can wait. Hey, do you have any stories about Rusty? Oh, no, you don't, said Rusty. Duke laughed. Unfortunately, I don't, but I do have some pretty entertaining tales about Duncan. Stories about me? I think every story you've heard is a lie. I'd be willing to challenge that, said Duke. Some other time, finished Sir Handel. Come on, guys, let's get back to work. Yes, said Rusty, and remember, Sir Handel, don't destroy any cabooses while you're at it. And with that, the four engines laughed.